Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Two World Podcast. We're really excited today to have a guest who is a student in graduate studies at Northeastern University in Boston, and her name is
Zhen.
And I'm so happy to have Zhen here because our family got to know her really well during her undergraduate studies at the College of Worcester. Zhen is from China, and she was our host student during that time when she was there. And we had a lot of fun with her. And she's here today to talk with us about Chinese New Year. And we're so excited to hear what she has to share. And also I have with me my co-hosts.
I am Barney.
Thank you, Barney. Mm-hmm. And just to get started today, for our listeners, many of whom may not know very much about Chinese New Year, what are some basic bits of information that would be helpful for people to know if they're trying to understand what is Chinese New Year? Could you tell us just a little bit, generally speaking, what Chinese New Year is, Zhen?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So Chinese New Year is also called Spring Festival. That's what we usually refer to. And it's the Lunar New Year. That's the new year of the lunar calendar. I know in the United States, we usually use the solar calendar, but in traditional China, we use the lunar calendar for agricultural purpose. So yeah, that's what we are celebrating for Chinese New Year.
That's wonderful. And I've heard that it's really the largest holiday in China. Is that accurate?
Yes, yeah. It is like the Christmas for China.
Yeah, I think I remember reading at one point that there's a huge migration of people traveling during that time, going to different locations to visit family, and that is just a really unique situation to have so many people traveling at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, we have a saying that no matter how rich you are, how poor you are, you must go home and celebrate Spring Festival.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yes. And the actual date of Chinese New Year is coming up soon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this year is February 1st on the solar calendar. Usually it will be like sometime in middle of February, but this year it's a little bit early, which is good.
Yes. That's exciting. And then each year there is that a different theme, a different general theme for that year. What do we have coming up this time?
Yeah. So this year will be Tiger Year, which is also the year that I was born. So it will be like my year, and I have to dress red somehow.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, very cool.
Yeah. We have like 12 animals for each year, and they are like in a routine. So the first year is mice. And the second year is cow, and the third year is tiger. So it's the third year of a 12-year routine.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, I like that. That's fascinating. And is there something unique or special when the year happens to be the same year you were born? You said you would wear red. So it's just kind of an extra celebration, or is there any other significance to it being the same year you were born?
Yes. So my dad told me this. I don't know how accurate it is. That you might have bad luck.
Oh,
in the year that you are born.
Oh man.
So you must wear something in red in order to thread that bad luck so that it won't touch you.
Okay. Interesting.
It can be like a red sock or like a red shirt or anything in red will work.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, that's so fascinating. Wow.
Yeah. That's usually like when people have their birth year coming, people will send them like all things in red as gifts.
Oh,
I
that's so
remember, yeah, my dad received like a sleeping suit from my grandparents.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes.
Are are there any special traditions or things that you need to do before the new year starts, like kind of getting ready for it? Are there certain kind of traditions that you guys do before that?
Mhm. So the New Year celebration usually runs 15 days.
Hmm.
The first day will be the Spring Festival, or actually Spring Festival Eve. We have
Hmm.
something like that. It will be on the lunar calendar the last day of the previous year. So it will be December 31st, like in solar
Hmm.
calendar. That on that day, the celebration begins. People will stay the whole night to like wait for the new year. Um, and there is the saying that if you fall asleep, bad luck will come to you or something. So, and we need to turn on all the lights for the entire night. So it will be a very bright night, and people won't feel sleepy. So that's on the New Year Eve. And on the actual New Year, the celebration begins. That's the first day of the 15-day celebration. On this day, it's a family gathering. People of a family, if they are happen to be together, they will like have food together and do something family-ish. So people don't go out on this day, and the street will be so empty, and every store will close. No one will be on the street
Wow.
that day. Um, and and there are traditions for each day in the following 15 days, and I don't remember like clearly because there are so many, too complicated. But I remember on the second day, it's the day for visiting. If you have relatives live close to you, you will like go to their house and celebrate New Year to say 恭喜发财 or something. uh-huh. And like people visit each other. They know like they will have visitors, so they will clean the home and have all the like fruits and snacks on their table ready. It's a little bit like Halloween. People come in and ask for things, and people will have to give the red pocket to
Hmm.
kids
Hmm.
if they are
Hmm.
coming. It's not on this day. Like whenever you see a kid,
Hmm.
you need to give them money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are some traditions on third day, fourth day that I don't quite remember. And another big day is the 15th day. We call that the Lanterns Day, the Lantern Festival, or like sweet dumpling festival, because we eat sweet dumplings on that day. It's the rice ball, sticky rice ball with sesames and peanuts inside. Um, it's a sweet dish for that day, and they will have special events with lanterns putting on, like all forms of lanterns made into like golden fish, dragon, or anything, and people will put them on the street, and there will be like little sticky notes inside with some um, word game on it, and people will guess like which word that this little stick refer to, and if they guess correctly, they can get the lantern and take it back home.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's neat. I like that. I remember Zhen during our time here in Worcester when one year, or maybe you did it several times, that you brought little bags for our children with money for the, and they loved that. They were like really ornate, pretty like red, I think, decorated little white paper bags. They loved that. So I definitely can see children and kids getting into that tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as long as like we are still the youngest generation, like we will get money. So
Oh,
I will
yeah.
still get money. Yeah, but for some time I will have to give money to my
Right.
cousins' kids. Like soon,
Mhm.
I don't know,
Mhm.
but right now I don't have to. It's my parents' job.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
even
mhm.
when I was visiting friends in Hong Kong during Chinese New Year, I was maybe 22 or 23, and even at that time, I could say in Cantonese, right, "Gong hei fa choi," and they would even give me just a visitor. They even gave me a little bit of spending money, and I thought, wow, this really is a fantastic festival.
Yeah, exactly. It means they like you and they treat you like they're part of the family.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
felt that too. Another, I don't know if you're aware of other maybe other traditions throughout the country. Like I don't know if this is a general tradition, but my friends in Hong Kong always told me that a few days after Chinese New Year is Chinese Valentine's Day. Is that?
Oh yeah. The Chinese Valentine's Day is I thought is the July 7th. It's the traditional Chinese Valentine's Day.
Ah,
But I don't know which one that you refer to. There
I
might
see.
be something like in between New
Mm-hmm.
Year and it
Mm-hmm.
might be a tradition like for the 15-day like routine. I just don't celebrate it because it's irrelevant to me. Yeah, I've heard there's some tradition that people have to bring their like significant other back to home and to visit their um, parents or something. But things like so far, I haven't like know this tradition. Yeah, but in addition to the red pocket, we have a lot of red um, decorations we'll be putting up like in our home before the spring festival so that the home will be lucky and in general. Yeah.
As you talk about red decorations, would this be a good time for me to share the
Mhm.
picture that you sent?
Yes.
Okay, let me do that right now. Could you tell us a little bit about this?
Yes, definitely. So this is the decoration of my current space. Yeah, this is my current like little home, and me and my roommate put up those decorations. So this is two parts. The little couplet or characters around the door is the Spring Festival couplets. It has lucky words on it, and it's like poetry. It's like they have exactly same number of characters, and if you read them, they have a rhythm. Um,
Interesting.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And the top one is like a title for this little couplet. It's called like five lucky thing arrives at your door.
Ah,
That's great. Oh,
And the left one is the upper couplet, we call it. It says, every year you have good things and whatever you do will be smooth. And the right one is the bottom couplet. It's everything you do will be lucky.
oh, nice. Oh,
Yeah. And yeah, so a lot of lucky, and even the middle character, the one under the number 16, it's literally the character of lucky or fortune. in Chinese, and we put it upside down. It's not like the correct way when we usually write it.
Mm-hmm.
We purposefully put it upside down, so it means lucky arrived. Because
I so we have that in Japanese too, and I didn't want to ask you, is that upside down? Because I realized it's upside down, and I didn't want to embarrass you, but that's so fascinating that you put it that way. Like, it really get the sense of it is arriving really at your door. That's really so interesting.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing that you recognize it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's on purpose.
Yeah. I thought maybe just the tape got loose and it turned upside down.
Yeah. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah,
I
right.
thought maybe the first person like who invented this had that happen, and they just invented a story. Everybody did this.
Another
Mhm.
this is kind of Jacob received another invitation from, I think, the Chinese scholarship or Chinese Scholars Association at the College of Worcester, and they had a really nice illustration with it, and of course it has a tiger for the upcoming new year, and I think it also has a fruit with it. Is it a it's like an orange maybe, or a persimmon? Are there certain is that kind of fruit also a traditional fruit that you eat in the new year?
It might be mean something lucky. Let me quickly pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
And while you're pulling that up, Zhen, I'll just mention Barney and I were looking at your photograph before you joined us before the podcast, and he was mentioning that in Japan, that character is connected with a unique thing. Would you want to share that, Barney, about the bag you were saying that with the sale items?
Yeah. So, right in Japan, like at the start of the new year, they, like, a lot of shops will have, I guess it's called like a lucky bag, where it's like you can't see inside it, and they put a whole bunch of things from their shop in it, and like it'll advertise, it'll say, $100 worth of goods in this bag for $30, and of course you don't know what it is, but they call it in Japanese, right, fuku bukuro, so lucky, and then bag. Do you also have those kind of? I know that a lot of people for the new year like to buy new things. Do you also have this kind of like special bargain or a special kind of giveaway thing like what we have here in Japan?
We do have giveaway things like the red pocket and new year gifts. I think for a bag like fuku, we don't have something like that. That's very unique for Japanese. But I do find that's very interesting, and I think we have we don't have it for like specially New Year festival, but we have things like that in stores like throughout the year for just the people to have fun. Like they don't know what's inside, and they buy it like for fun. Yeah, and Jacob, I can actually find that picture. Would you mind sharing that?
Yes, I would be happy to share that. Let me pull it up right now, and just let me know if you can see this when it comes up here.
Oh yeah, that's so cute. You mean the special fruit?
Yeah,
by the tail of the tiger there, I think.
Wow, that's very interesting.
To me, it looks like a persimmon, but I don't know if it's just maybe a stylized mandarin orange or.
I don't know actually.
Okay.
It's definitely something red.
Yeah.
Interesting. And usually for New Year, we will have fish as a symbol, because that means every year you have fish, and fish is the same sound for remainings. So that will be every year you will have remainings. That means like you earned a lot.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, well, you were talking earlier, Zhen, about being at home and how being with family is so important. And so I wanted to ask, do you have any stories that you'd like to share with us about celebrating Chinese New Year with your family? Any memories that stand out in particular?
Yes, yeah, I have a lot of family memories about celebrating New Year. It was very fun for me because my parents come from like two locations in China, and they are very far from each other. My dad comes from a northeastern side province in China, and my mom comes from a very southern like island. And they get married in Beijing and live there. That's where I go to school and everything. So whenever it's Spring Festival, we will have to decide which home to go back to. And my parents will be the fighters, but sometimes we decide to go both. So before the New Year celebration, we will drive to my dad's home. It's like an 8-hour drive, not very fun, but we will arrive probably after midnight or something, but everyone was up. Like my aunts, my grandparents was still up, and even the dog. They will wait inside the room for us to come, and I was so sleepy and a little bit like car sick, but everyone like comes out and say, "Oh my God, Jen, you come back! I miss you so much. Do you remember Grandma?" Yeah, and I have to hug my grandma. Yes, well, Grandma, love you so much. I miss you so much. Can I go to sleep? Yeah. And they still have, and they also have the table set up to prepare, like that has food on it. And of course, all the food is cold. So they send them back to the stove and heat it. And
Oh.
in my and my dad, he's super guy. He drives for the whole day, and he still have energy for food and like drinking and stuff.
Oh, that's
Good for
fun.
them, but usually I will fall asleep like immediately. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
wonderful.
Mm-hmm. My grandma on my dad's side is in northeastern. It's a very cold place, so they have the traditional stove that's attached to their bed. I don't know if you heard of this, but I find it's very special. It's only in northeastern China. It's not even in everywhere else. Um, so they will set up beds, like half of the room is the bed frame or anything. It's like they actually build it with blocks and like dirt. Yeah, and sand. And in the bed is like this, and they have like empty space in the middle. And they on the on one end there will be a wall, and the other side of the wall is the kitchen. So there will be a stove attached to that wall.
Wow.
Whenever the stove is heated, the bed will be heated as well.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's really ingenuitive. Like that's a great idea to make benefit from that heat.
Yeah, that's great. And we will set up our beds. It's a huge bed, so at least 8 people can sleep on it.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's neat.
So yeah. So during the day we will have our beddings like roll up and put it in closet. And at night we will like have them back on the bed. And during the day, the bed place can be a platform for like playing poker
Oh,
or
yeah.
like eating. Yeah. So very, very unique experience. And I remember sleeping on those like stove beds. It's very warm, and they have cats. My grandma has cats, and the cats will be like sleeping in our bed
Oh,
and,
that's so sweet.
walk through us.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Oh,
Does everybody get like you said that shops for sure everything is closed on the first day. Do people get to have quite a few days off of work in general?
Yeah. So in general, we will have 7 days off, and there will be no off on the 15th days, which is a sad thing. But yeah, but because my grandparents are like self-employed farmers, they don't have like the official day off. They can just have all the 15-day celebration. Yeah, and yeah, and the food is very different throughout the country. What I just talked about is my grandparents on my father's side. My grandparents on my mother's side has like a completely different experience because they are very southern. It's like Florida or something like that.
oh
It's
wow.
very hot. We don't even wear a coat.
What a contrast
Mhm.
from your father's side. You know, what a difference. And
Yeah,
and what's
yeah.
it like when you are celebrating at your mother's home? Is it a
Mhm.
lot different?
Yes. So in northeastern China, we usually eat dumplings. That's and rolling like pancakes for Spring Festival. But for my mom's like place, they have like hot pots, and it's a different hot pot for like other than the hot pot in northern China. Like usually the hot pots will have very thin slice of beef and lambs, but in the southern China they have like chopped chicken and chopped lambs. It's not like thin slice, and they don't have like soup, like special soup base, like spicy or something. Oh, they never even eat spicy in the island. They everything is very calm and nothing is hot, and they like sweet foods. I think you guys will like it.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, and the southern people don't eat dumplings. We have to buy dumplings from the frozen dumplings from the stores.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Mhm.
Ah.
Oh, because we usually made them. That's the contrast because we usually made them in northern China because like they have all the ingredients, but in Hainan, the island my mom comes from, they don't have those ingredients like prepped for dumpling making, which is very interesting. I find like they never eat dumplings. How can they be like that?
One thing that I think will be really interesting to hear from you is what it's like to celebrate Chinese New Year when you're away from China, when you're here in the United States, and how you do it and how that's been. Because with it being a time of family, that's probably hard. You're not able to connect with your parents, your grandparents, your brother. And so what have you been able to do when you're here?
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh my, I haven't been home like for 5 years for New Year celebration. Wow, I haven't received red pockets from my parents for 5 years.
Oh, oh.
You need to pay me back later.
One giant red pocket.
Mhm, mhm.
Uh, Yeah. So here I usually celebrate it with my friends. Um, when I was in Worcester, we have the Chinese scholars and student association will have some special events. I think each year they will have different thing, which is a fun thing because they're surprise. I think one year they reserved kitchen and they have all the stuff in from lorry to make food for us. Like they hire Americans to make Chinese food. Yeah.
Oh,
And they set up all the games that we usually play like during the Spring Festival. They have the little like circular thing, and they have like the gift set up on the floor, and there have to be some distance between them. And then like they let people to throw the clothes, and whatever they hit, they can like get it and bring it home.
oh, that's fun. Oh,
Yeah.
that's really good.
I remember I bring home like 2 cups of sweet tea.
Oh,
Yeah. So these little like things are very interesting. And so right now I'm here in Boston, and the day of that of Spring Festival is like on a weekday. I think it's next Tuesday. So it won't be on a weekend. Um, and I haven't joined the Chinese Scholar Association here at Northeastern, but I will celebrate it with my friends. So we have the decoration set up, as you see, like me and my roommate. And I think I will invite some friends over to cook together. We might have dumplings. I don't know. But we will definitely have fish. That I just learned a recipe online how to make. We call it squirrel fish because the fish has to be cut into like little pieces, and when we fried it, it'll be like blossom like squirrel's tail. That's why we cut it
oh,
squirrel
wow.
fish.
That's interesting. Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. How about then at the near the end of the festival when when you're getting to day 13, 14, 15, how how is the feeling then, and then what is it like when the last day of the Chinese New Year celebration has passed, when it's day 16? Does everything just go back to normal right away, or
Um, I think they purposely set up 15 days so that people can gradually like get, because they don't have like to work for all these days, and they need to see those relatives that they don't talk to for a whole year, and they suddenly have so much to talk to like in 15 days. The people will, I don't know what other people, but I will get a little overwhelmed and I actually need some break. um, and um, and the holidays is set up for 7 days. So usually I will get like anxious on the fifth day because I will start to worry about, oh, my homework is still like not finished. Yeah, but on the seventh day I will be like, I wish I could go back to the first day and start it all over.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. Mhm. Oh, did I mention like there's a special TV program like for each New Year? Oh
Oh,
yeah, it's a like national TV show on the Spring Festival day. It will be on the New Year Eve. So
okay.
everyone
Interesting.
stay up whole night to watch that TV show.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah,
Ah,
it usually starts at around 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. And then it goes all over to 1 a.m.
mm,
Yeah, and they will have like dancing, singing, and they will have celebrities to come to the TV program and do some like fun, like lucky New Year thing. Yeah, it's pretty fun to watch. If anyone is travel to China or not even travel to, they can watch that TV show to get a little experience of Chinese New Year.
Oh, that's neat. And there's probably the understanding that you're watching it with so many other people around the country that it's a shared thing. It kind of reminds me of for us for New Year's Eve with the ball dropping, in Times Square, New York, and how so many people in the United States will tune in to watch that. And it's part of our tradition or habit. In this collective sense, we're doing it together. So that's really special. Yeah. Well, thinking about that idea of family, of changing your rhythm, of slowing down, of eating around the table, of celebration, and of something new starting, is there kind of a symbolism, or is there a meaning in Chinese New Year that can teach us something? Does it help ground you? To spend that time with family, so you're more prepared when the new year starts to face the challenges of your studies or whatever. Does it serve a function like that? Can it teach us something, or does it have an impact on us as people that could help us moving forward?
Yes, I would say it's not getting people ready for the new year. It's a goal that everybody works so hard for during that year. So everybody works so hard during a year so that they can have a good celebration. People work hard, they like try to earn money, and especially for people that are not home, they're looking so forward to getting back home at the end of the year and bring all these happiness and all the fruit of their hard work to back home and tell their parents that we are doing good. You don't have to worry about us. And like we have, so people like work hard throughout the year so that they can have a good relax and like happy ending of the year.
Wow. Oh, that's really meaningful. Thank you for sharing that. Wow. Is there anything else that you would like to ask Barney, or is there anything else that you would like to share, Zhen, before we close our time?
I don't know. Do you guys have more questions about? Yeah, I have to say, the Spring Festival is such a big event and it has so many complicated background stories. And I only tell a little part about my experience. And I believe people around the country will have a different experience, especially for those who have a big family. I think there's more event for that. But yeah, I hope you guys can get a little bit about Spring Festival and maybe get interested in this special cultural event.
Yeah, it's just been it's just been so nice having you join us here today, Zhen, and hearing the really neat, vivid, just really fantastic experiences that you've had, and probably all these wonderful memories from when you were growing up, and maybe even thinking, a bit in the future of what it'll be like when you have the chance to hand out the envelopes and whatnot to the people around you.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just so great to hear about this, really this shared tradition that we all have of, the different cultures around the world that have these different really main holidays that everyone looks forward to, especially the chance to get back together with their families and seeing the ways that hospitality and family and togetherness are shared, and exactly the hearing your perspective and thinking about our own perspective, how we think about big holidays in our lives, and also starting a new year or saying goodbye to an old, the previous year. And learning through your experience gives, I think, me for sure, things to think about, and hopefully all of our listeners as well, especially the listeners for Worcester Mennonite Church, as a really fun event is coming up this Sunday. And, we just one more time, we want to say thank you to Zhen for coming here and sharing with us. And we wish you a very, very happy Year of the Tiger coming up.
Thank you.
And and we look forward to, for our regular listeners, we look forward to you tuning in with us next week as well. And we always appreciate, the times that you've listened to us up until now. So for me, Barney and Jacob, and of course, Zhen Guo today, thank you so much, everyone. It's been a great time.